and we are being joined by Anish in the studio. Hi Anish, congratulations on that win.
Thank you. I'm just as surprised as you are.
2-0 performance against Hikaru. Fantastic chess, but it's not just the scoreline. It felt like two very crushing games. How did you do it?
No, things just really went my way. In the first game, he played, what the kind of thing he does sometimes, the sort of queenside fianchetto thing. And usually he's successful with that against me because the game sort of drags on and it's like he postpones the crisis, until I'm in time trouble and then I lose. But in this particular case, I think, the version was good for me. I found a few good moves and he had to be very, very, very careful. And at some point I was also up on the clock and I think he felt under pressure and he missed this. It's easy to miss from the white side. My knight is hanging basically and it has to go back. But suddenly I realized that, I was actually these F5 ideas, I felt that at some point F5 could win somewhere. So I was sort of keeping it in mind, but at that particular moment, it was really, really strong. And once I've got that F5, which he probably missed, the good thing for me is that I'm just winning. He's a great defender, but when he's just sort of completely winning, there's nothing even he can do. I guess even against the engine, at that point, I can already convert it. So that was a bit unfortunate for him that he couldn't really show his defensive skills because once he made a mistake, it was just kind of over, I think.
It was really impressive to see not just the games, Anish, but also the mindset shift, right? You had a tough day on day one against Jan, and then you come in and cruise through this victory. How did you recover, and how did you uptalk yourself for this big battle against Hikaru?
Well, in the professional, the high-level chess, it's a lot is about just little things, circumstances, the way the games start. Yesterday, somehow, I was also in a great mindset. I was looking forward to the match. I was ready. I had certain plans for the game. I was preparing for it already for a few days and keeping in mind what if it goes this, if it goes that. I had some options, and but somehow just the position I got, it's in the first game, it felt very logical what I do, but I kind of stumbled into some sort of either prep or just I guess some sort of prep because he played very fast and suddenly my position is it gets forcing and suddenly I'm in a very bad spot and then I'm also slow. And the only moment I got a chance for a draw in the first and the second game was when I had 10 seconds against 10 minutes. And the problem also is that it feels like a rapid tournament, but there's a very big difference is that there's 3-second increment, not 10. And when you are in the rapid mode, you are used to the fact that you get 10-second increment. And I'm not saying I would have held these games, but at least imagine you have 10 seconds and you make a move, you have 20, and then again, you can think for 10 seconds, again, you have 20 seconds. But now when you have 3-second increment, 10 seconds is just nothing. You think, you drop to 2, and then +3 is already 5, and it just disappears, So, I just wasn't able to defend. And somehow, it was just from bad to worse. But today it went the opposite. So it's not like, yesterday I was under the table and today I got up, but it's just sometimes things work out. I think at this point I'm so sort of experienced that my mindset is always okay, but sometimes the position is not very good.
That is awesome to hear. And speaking of mindset, Anish, how much of an ambition is it for you to make it to Toronto in this one?
Well, in tiers, in terms of rivals for Magnus, I'm in tier 5 at the moment. So I think a lot has to happen for me to win this tournament in this format. I think in hindsight, obviously, if I had ambitions to qualify to Toronto, I had to do it the long way. I had to be fit for every single qualifier. I had to try to grind it and collect points. Because I think winning these events, it's a long shot. It's possible, but it's very hard. And the only tour tournament that I won, actually, I did beat Magnus there in the prelims, but there it was not this year; it was the other year. And somehow the system was one elimination, and Nepo kicked out Magnus, and I had to beat Nepo, which I managed with also a lot of luck as usual. But in that tournament, basically, I didn't have to beat Magnus to win. While here, I was lucky today. I was able to beat Hikaru, but there is Alireza at some point. That will be Magnus, and so to win and qualify this way, it's possible, but it's a long shot. And again, I think I had to try and collect these points, but the schedule this year for me was very tough. And whenever I was showing up for many qualifiers, but I was just very tired most of the time. And I had a lot of over the board tournaments. World Championship cycle is a big thing this year for me as well. So it was hard to be fit. And I was able to qualify twice to first division. And because of schedule, I could only play once. So yeah, this final is unlikely, which is a pity because I enjoyed the CGC final last time. I made it that time. It was a great event, but still surprisingly in the running. So always open for a miracle.
It would be awesome to see you there, Anish. And speaking of tiers, would you agree with what Magnus said, that he has no tier 1 rivals?
Honestly, I'm a little bit always surprised, sort of. It's very hard for me to understand, like, the level difference between Magnus and the rest. And obviously he's stronger. He's proved that with numbers and everything. And he also proves that when you sort of look at commentary, when he streams, you can see he understands things fast. But somehow it feels to me that the margin is pretty small, yet he wins almost everything. So I'm kind of not sure. Maybe I'm underestimating him in a larger sense, or... Yeah, I'm not sure. A lot of games, like, it's always close. If you look, like, in even the World Cup, you see the game with Kamer, like, it's always close. But of course, if you're stronger and you play a long game, you play chess for 20, 30 years, yeah, you're going to collect most trophies. And but that said, I think in a particular event, in particular game, in a particular move, anyone can outsmart him. So, it's like today also, I was kind of happy we play a 2-game match. I think the shorter the match, the better the chances of an underdog. And I was kind of looking forward to today's match more than if it would be a 4-game match against Hikaru, because, okay, I once beat him in a 4-game match too, but then you need even more things to happen. You win the first game, second game, he wouldn't go for broke maybe. And, it's kind of keeps accumulating. The odds are stacked against you. But yeah, and on a short term, I think everybody is Magnus's rival. Including noobs like myself. But of course, yeah, if you speak like career, we look at legacy. And I guess at this point in his career, he's trying to cement his legacy, and he's fighting for the spot of the greatest player of all time with Kasparov. At least my understanding is that it's pretty close. I think Kasparov has been doing great things as well in his career. Yeah, in terms of his legacy, he's fighting with Kasparov, not with us. But in terms of this tournament or one game, I think it's open.
We love to see these rivalries being played out. And finally, before you go, Anish, you just tweeted, "Dear X, I just beat Hikaru." When did you come up with this, and how quickly did you manage to get this out? Is this something that you had at the back of your mind?
No. But at this point, just like my chess, I'm so experienced, it's just, I just look at, when it comes to chess, I sort of look at the position and I see the right move. And when it comes to Twitter, I just take my phone and type some rubbish. So it's been like that. It will be like that. And it will always be like that.
Anish, you entertain us on the board and off it as well. Great performance today, and all the best for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Anish Giri with a power-packed performance, taking down Hikaru with 2 back-to-back wins. And Ali Reza gets the job done as well.